inside here, you get an insight and
Before I was on the road to Genesis, before all of this is where I was.
Who are you?
That's me.
Who are you?
Like Moses, God kept me safe in the river of life. Sure, there were floods, but I was covered by his veil, which he lifted, so I'ma get to know him. That's my story. Like Moses, God kept me safe in the river of life. Sure, there were floods, but I was covered by his veil, which he lifted, so I'ma get to know him. That's my story. You don't have to buy it. He died in it, now I break bread and drink wine as a reminder. And you look at me.
Amen.
So what would you say influences your sound as a musician?
I mean, I have lots and lots of influences,
Yeah.
but when I think back, I'd really say it all started like at church, right? So Ekaya, like our church, is Yoni. So as Yoni, there's a lot of ukombela, a lot of ukombela, beautiful music, and it's like it started there, and then that's how I got into like jazz, because jazz is also like improviser, with instruments and sounds and music, voices, and then I think it made it very easy for me to also go into indigenous African music.
So Stan, when did your musical interest start?
Funny enough, I never really had a musical interest growing up, but I never really had interest, and I think it's because a lot of the music had to do with church. So I was a bit turned off by that.
You went to church goer?
I was a church goer, but I wasn't like a believer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for me, the first thing I think I fell in love with when it comes to arts is dancing. Dancing way when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like in parties, I opened the circles, okay? When there was me, there was Splits, there was Beyonce,
Yeah.
and that's Cramp. I was the girl.
You used to cramp.
I used to cramp.
You used to cramp.
I used to battle boys and beat them, and I was just squad.
J squad.
I think it started at church again. When I used to go to Way of Life Church. Remember my church? The one
Way of Life.
The one that changed to.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
When I went
No,
there,
let them know.
No, I'm gonna no. I asked this other guy, he keyboard player, can I please sing in the church? I thought it was a choir. In the church choir. Like, okay, if you want to sing in praise and worship, you need to audition. So I did a young audition as I was sitting with him, and I sang, Father, can you hear me? I'm not gonna sing, but I sang that song.
Yeah.
And then he was like, wow, you actually can sing. And then, that's how I ended up in the worship team. But when I was there, I was still shy, and I was still learning. And I remember, my Sis Wendy, she used to be my Sunday school teacher. I remember Sis Wendy, and she used to tell me, no, don't worry, Danam. I know sometimes you don't know where to place your voice and how to sound because you're still young. But even Nomfus, this is how she started. Nomfus was like our stake. It broke out of church. She still sings gospel. So yeah, just like, don't worry, you know, you're gonna get the hang of it. So that's where I think my confidence came from,
Yeah.
just my stage presence from church. And then what happened with my church? So guys, my church, funny thing is, my pastor was really, really involved with the Roads Must Fall, Fees Must Fall student movement, right? So he sort of incorporated that into like our Sunday services.
Yeah.
And I think my church, even before I was part of the church, I think it's always embraced blackness and celebrating black people. And so that was a huge part of our church even before we undergone the transformation. And then it started like being a real thing where students were like coming in. And I remember this one day I first saw Kuman Makrel came through and basically told us what was happening in AUCT. And at that time I was in high school. I had no idea what was happening there.
Yeah.
And this was all new to me, but so fascinating. And I was like, yo, because I used to be so bored at church. The only thing at church I enjoyed was music, praise and worship. I was there. Like I'm gone. It's not nah. So I enjoyed there's a story. One thing I enjoy about Prechayo, if they incorporate like personal things
own
about
story.
things I can relate to.
Okay.
And I joined Black Consciousness Poetry at the time and everything. And then we turned completely, you know what, this is actually going to be a black home for black bodies to come in and they're going to feel at home, you know. And
that had nothing to do with the spiritual side of things and Jesus. And
I mean, spiritual it was kind of, you
Okay.
know, spirituality is everywhere. I just don't think it was like had to do
Christ-centered.
It wasn't Christ-centered, you know. It was very much about people and community, which is spiritual, which is great, which is good. And at that time I was also I didn't understand what it means to be a God-fearing or a born-again Christian. I think I went to the front and I accepted Christ, but I never really got how it works. I always thought, okay, Christ is for church. Man, we totally changed now to this black home. We changed even our name to Ikilombo. Members, like the OGs, they had to find other churches, people who were not in agreement with what was happening. So there was a split in the church. I mean, you know, Pastor Kala was preacher, I think, for 21 years at that time. So...
Sure. That's a journey. That's a journey. No, I'm trying to think how if you hadn't gone through the experience of your church breaking up and becoming politically, you know, all these things, what impact would that have on you? Do you think you'd be the same CHOSI that everyone knows, or would there be a difference?
No, I don't think so. I think that needed to happen. I think God planned for that to happen because I believe God is for African people. I believe Jesus is for African people. It's for everyone, in fact. But in most churches, the theme is like we all live the same lives, you know. So with my particular church and the transformation it undergone, I felt like you know what, be proud to be African. Don't try to fit in ufana nabanye abantu ungumXhosa. If you feel like ufuna ukuxhokoza, if you feel like ufuna uthetha isiXhosa, like do that. Express yourself however you feel fit. And I feel we have so much creativity in our culture, in our language, in just the way we are as a people,
as a band,
that we don't get to express at church. But I think we take on so much of other people, like Western influences, and it's like it's okay at church. So I applied adverts for jazz. I did the audition, I sang, got a call back. Yes, girl, you are in. They were calling me like not January, Feb. But hey, you need to come and Kuban was you need to come and be settled at school.
Yeah.
No. And I'm just like and these I had no plans of actually going to go study in Joburg. Even when I got to UCT, music was there. And I was not even studying music. And then I met Usbongiseni Sabela, and she was literally my musical soulmate.
And if I look at your life now, I would say you know a lot of artists, especially in Cape Town. When did that journey start of knowing people, and like who was the first few famous people did you get to know?
Finally famous. I don't know about famous, but definitely within the vicinity we were in, we were definitely famous. I would say as an aesthetics at the time, which was Utaneka, Ueni, Uskai, no Order. And I met them, I think when Wizu was closing. Was it before that? I think Wizu was closing. On that closing night, Sibongiseni and I actually, because stand up with music, ne? Because hierarchies, the choreo that are unspoken, and especially in a jazz space, as vocalists, like people don't pay attention to you. Only dinga. Then it's like but people were just jamming with instruments. Well, as a vocalist, I felt like vocalists are a huge part of jazz. You know, this is the first instrument, so it's it was just like no man, you need to. And I remember we were working on the song Uvuma. Yes, that was one of the songs we created. No, Sibongiseni. And well, I dreamt the song, and then I told her about it, how it goes, and she transposed it in piano. Fine. Now I go up there. Obviously, it's the last song. Basically, I was there. I was like no, we're closing. Mike, that must go on stage. Can a black woman sing? Can a black woman sing? Make good to the mic. And then people, I swear, going down their head. Yo, turn the mic up. There's Jahan. And get a black. And then I was like, you guys stop playing all the other instruments. Stop playing. And then you're gonna get your cue from her. Sibongiseni started playing the song. Fine. I'm like, no. Again. Stop playing. Listen to what she's playing, and you play that. We're doing our own song. Instruments came. The music now is beautiful. Trumpets on the song. The song was like a different thing. And then now, I use the volume. That's another thing as a vocalist you have to fight with, is that higher. When as a vocalist, obviously you're limited. So, so that was another thing that frustrated me. I was like, you know what? Fine. That figure stage. And then, I don't know who was like, no, I think we spoke again and Vakali. Utandeka came on stage in solidarity. Aganda's no dance. She came on stage, we sang that song. Aganda's meeting, but sang, and that was the last performance of Wizu. We closed the Wizu. And then later on, Maskola again invites me. This time Sisipo couldn't come because I think she went home. He invites me to a jam session, intimate jam session at Kuniswa James's house. Fine. We go and then we meet Ueni, Uskai, and I was like, I remember them. Because we can't miss Taneka with her green hair. And they always have these instruments. But like, I remember them. And then we jammed. And I remember reciting the poem Kehlandin. That was a poem. And then it turned into a song with Sibongiseni. And then I was like, you know what, I want to actually have my own show. Because I had written a lot of songs at that time. Sibongiseni and I were just writing songs after songs and we're performing at different places. So like, you know what, let's have our own show. And I'm so glad we did that, because after that year, Sibongiseni had to leave. Such a heartbreaking breakup. She gave me such like good ideas about, okay, let's do it like this, do it like that. And she actually let me hear a piece that she did on the piano, her own music. She was trying to like write her own music. And I hope one day, you girl, I can buy your album. And hopefully reunite in the future and play together again.
You said you were preparing for your first show, and obviously your first show happened. Nah. How was that experience, having your own first show?
Jonga. Unmatched. Feeling unmatched. Standwa. Andiyazi, maybe I'm naive, but I think when I booked America to a sold out show, I would never get that feeling I first got when I got on that stage.
Because it was your first.
It was my first like real show. Myself, one woman, no opening, closing act. It's just me, and also the people that played with me. My first year, I'm no one basically, but here I am getting Utandega to do backup vocals for me. She also played Uhadi, and then Spong Seni obviously on the piano. Any aka Mdana he did percussions for me, and he was in the vocals at some points. So another thing that really moved me, Sky did the videos. As I like everything, God was like, here it is. I had a photographer, I had a videographer, I had backup people, I had everything.
Yeah.
Our first show. And then on top of that, people pulled through. Jonga, people pulled through, Shem, like people from UWC, people from Kylie Cha.
Yeah.
Osisandi, they all know Siki from Sika's Cafe. They all pulled up. Usiabonga from Ghetto Sessions.
Yeah.
Through like, hey man, come hi.
Packed, son.
Kind of the love in the room, you just like, hi man, guys, that show.
So I think that's like a transition. I know. But after, actually, if I won't lie to you, I have you on SoundCloud, obviously. And I remember streaming a few of your songs on your latest EP. And that EP, it's rap.
Yeah.
How did we get there? How did we even get there?
Deep.
Yeah.
So I think, like the music, I do, besides rap and hip hop side of me, it's very emotional music. So it is very emotionally taxing music, and I was like, man, like, I need an escape, because one thing is that I knew I couldn't leave music. I tried for like, I think a few months. I was like, I'm not taking any gigs. I'm done with music. I quit because I was so depressed, man. I was it's like you get on stage, you prepare fantastic music, and people like suck you dry, like your energy, and you leave home. Well, you're on a high because you got money, but it's like gonna last you for and then it's just not sustainable for me. And yeah, I quit music, and then we were talking to Sissy for this one night about just the dreams we had, the things we want to do, and just saying that aloud. But no, man, we want to rap. And as people were like, both like, no, we want to rap. And I think God got me to like discover Utikoala at that time. And I listened to, I was like, no, man, I can do this, I can do this. This is such a vibe, and also I need this because I need an escape from the type of music I'm doing, but I also cannot quit music. So it was, for me, rap is such a safe haven, it's a thing I need to recuperate. Yeah, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna do this. And obviously, I was like, okay, I need to take this as serious as I'm taking my other music.
Yeah.
Right? And at the time, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna write the song. Only thing I knew, like, the phone by Ibepa was I'm a Google us. Okay. Now I need a beat to write to.
Yeah.
Went on YouTube, found a beat. It's like, this is me right now. I'm doing this thing.
This is you rapping now.
Yeah. Hey, went in this beat. Yeah, it was bad. Hey, the thing I did.
I think I remember it, to be honest. I don't think it was that bad.
Babesy, it was bad.
But
I posted it. Hey people, so this is the song rap thing that I'm doing. I'm really scared, guys, and I found this beat on YouTube and I just started writing right now, so yeah, I'm gonna share. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna be harsh, guys. Yo, it's my first time. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, let me put my rap. I put this video out. I was just giving me pointers. CHOSI was born. And then I did that, and with the first song, boom, Nguni Villas was hit.
Soma kwaza ngalomkhondo.
Wait, did you know D prior the collaboration? Because I see you guys have a song together.
No, I didn't know D besides just listening to her music.
Okay.
And sharing her music. But I had no personal relationship with her. So also that thing was for me a whole full circle moment where this was someone that even inspired me to start writing, you know, and
you collaborated with her.
And she reached out to me to do a song. Yeah. So it was just one of those moments where God was just reassuring and reaffirming me. This is where you belong.
This is your journey, this is your path. It's dope.
Yep.
Bueno.
Mira, Michael.
Double trick.
Yeah. It's
Cooking and burning this thing, smell it.
Let's go.
We gon' rap to this, we gon' trap to this. Galompa tango zobona zondango zobona simanga wonke lo nyaka. We gon' rap to this, we gon' trap to this. Galompa tango zobona zondango zobona simanga wonke lo nyaka. Get a girl, but he flex a pearl. Get to live your life is okay. All these haters is okay. Marajonga when I get the way. Kabu haba on your lane. Sabamba, eh. We in the car, bamba. Serving the West to cassava. Down in Mohini, the praying is penny. Stusha Safa. Thanking the Lord for being with us. Mascoting and Bamba, Papuras. We getting high with the class. I could stress, no regrets. And putting on all, I sent a mess. If Bunga said I'm a Google.